Chained Senses, the story of trial and error concerning the fate of a slave. Celia was a 14-year-old slave in 1855 Missouri, whose life was changed forever following her purchase by slave owner Robert Newsom. She was initially purchased for help around the house and cooking. As was prominent yet illegal at the time, Celia was raped promptly by Newsom upon her arrival at her new home. Her middle-aged oppressor would continue to do so on a regular basis for 5 years, sometimes multiple times in one day. She had 2 kids before a real lover came into her life, a young slave by the name of George. George found out about her abuse and urged her to put an end to it, as the consequence of him leaving her. The pressure on Celia mounted as she became pregnant with her second child of Newsom's, a pregnancy that would prove fatal for both her and the baby. Newsom continued to rape her while she was pregnant, even had her begging for him to stop. She asked her mistress, Newsom's daughter, to have him stop, but she refused. Finally, she decided to take things into her own hands. She was told by Newsom that she was going to be visited by him that night, so she took a good-sized stick into her cabin and placed it next to her fireplace. She warned him that if he came, she would hurt him, but he didn't listen. When he made his advances that night, she grabbed the stick and hit him over the head twice. These 2 blows killed the man. She spent the next hours contemplating what to do with the accidentally killed body, and decided to burn it in the fireplace. She kept the fireplace hot all night and scattered the unburnt bone along the path to the main house. Soon people started to notice Newsom's absence, and suspicion turned to Celia. For weeks she refused to talk as to whether or not she had killed her master, but finally she confessed to the murder of Robert Newsom. She was taken to trial, with a white, male slave-owning jury and a white, male slave-owning judge. The judge in particular was very harsh on Celia, despite there being a law legalizing her action. Witness after witness piled up evidence against her as she waited in her prison cell. Her crime wasn't doubted, but whether or not her race had anything to do with how she was to be punished was the true question. Unfortunately, she was declared to be immune to the law protecting her, and she was convicted of first-degree murder. This brought about satisfaction from the South and outrage in the North, adding even more kindling to the fiery conflict that was already brewing between the two on the topic of slavery. As for Celia, she was hung about 2 months after her eviction, having given birth to a stillborn child. She was a misunderstood young slave whose soul the world still weeps for today.